Doug, if you're talking, you're on mute, mate.
Okay. Technology, eh? Gotta love it. So
We wouldn't have had anything but what you said for last.
yeah, could have cursed the sun. No, I just switched to my phone to find that out for Adsy, but I've actually just lost the chat. So just quickly jump back in the chat and chuck your scores in. Beautiful. So it's pretty cool when you do these things, when you take the opportunity to actually reflect, because so often on the journey of personal development, when you actually start working on yourself, you make the decision, you start working on yourself, you start getting a bit of momentum, you think, all right, I'm hitting the ground running here. This is really positive. And then the universe tends to throw you bucket loads of shit, right? And just test you. It goes, if you're willing to write a goal down on paper that you want to achieve, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you and see if you actually want it. And so often people will get started in this stuff and then a bit of stress pops up and they think, have I actually improved? All right. Or am I just in the thick of it still? And ultimately, that's the ego trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you in your comfort zone. And it's not very good at, as a whole human, we aren't very good at actually appreciating what we've put in place and the yards we've trekked. Okay, we're still so focused on the outcome instead of the process. And so when you take a moment to actually reflect on every little bit of effort you put into yourself, all the little 1% wins, all the things that are compounding and building up behind in the background. It might be in your thoughts, it might be reduced pain, it might be reduced inflammation, it could be way better food choices, it could just be more discipline in terms of, you're going throughout your day with more self-control and more trust. All of these little things, these subconscious kind of improvements in the actions that we don't pay attention to are happening, but we tend to get really caught up in the stress of what life presents, right? Like, who's still experiencing stress in their life? Like, just because you start working on yourself doesn't mean fucking life just becomes, piss easy. If anything, like Mitch Plack, one of the guys, one of the mentors in Uncom, he's always been such a grounding resource for me. He says, becoming more aware isn't easier. It requires more of you. So we want to become better and have better qualities and better attributes and better skill sets. How do we test that without bringing on a greater challenge in life? Like, for instance, if we talk about it with training, you want to be stronger. Well, to prove that you're stronger, you have to lift more weight than you've ever lifted before. Otherwise, if you're not putting the data there, if you're not actually showing yourself you're stronger, how do you know? So I want you to be really clear on the notion that personal development comes with the tax of more challenges. Yeah, you'll be challenged with more management of yourself, discipline, sticking with your routines, picking yourself up when you drop the ball. All these things come into your life to test your new paradigms. But that's not to say that you're doing worse. In fact, it's usually to say that you're doing better. You're navigating life differently. And if you can start really focusing on, like, okay, where have I actually made the compounding growth here? How am I thinking differently? How am I acting differently? How am I eating differently? How am I communicating differently with my relationships, the relationship in my life? You start to really go like, shit, I am evolving as a man. It might not be as quick as I imagined, or I might not be where I wanted to be yet, or whatever. that's kind of your brain playing tricks on you. If you're to take the moment to think, okay, what have I actually done? And am I setting a new framework for myself? And the more you can do this, whether it's through a journal practice, like a weekly wrap up. I mean, we're doing the wins, the wins lessons focus is a really basic way to do it. Is just a weekly check-in of like, what was your win this week? What was your lesson? What was your focus? Okay, it's a really basic way of doing it. But if you want to go harder with it, have a journal and do a weekly wrap up. Okay, what did I nail this week? What would I do better if I didn't? If it came up again, how would I improve my reaction? How would I want to speak? Like, you can do a full journal on it. You can also do it at the end of the day if you want to go hard with journaling. Set your intention for the morning and do your absolute must get dones. So, you know, three core things that you must do. And then at the end of the day, you check in, did I do those 3 things? Tick, 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 or tick, cross, tick. And you're doing this constant reassessment. Hey, bruh, you love the grommings. You're doing a constant reassessment of, are you winning the day? Right? So winning the day more often allows you to win the week. When you win the week more often, you're going to win more at life. So the more you can become aware of yourself and your progression and your flaws and the things you're fucking up on, but then you can fine tune and pull them in, you got more chance of winning over time. Does that make sense? So I wanted to give you guys this opportunity because it's a perfect opportunity to think about those scores. So like, you know, Adam, 60 to 73, Epic, 58 to 69, Louis, Nick, 74. Don't have a second score for you, but that's all good. Brent Pierce, 36 to 78. 28 to 56. So like, guys, these are, when you look at these, it's cool to actually go, all right, I've dialed that area in. Okay, so now I want you to put in the chat, what's your lowest score and what's your highest score? So just put the category. So if it's like relationships is lowest and physique is highest or whatever from the list.
On the first or on the second? Or the list changed?
Go lower. What was that?
No, so the score I'm putting on now is what I have now, is my lowest now or my lowest previously?
No, lowest now. So what's the lowest hanging?
And highest now.
Yeah. What's the lowest hanging fruit right now? And what are you nailing right now? And be raw and real, lads. Raw and real, because your honesty with yourself allows you to, when you put it out into voice or written, you can see it more clearly. Stress and discipline. Yeah. Money, discipline. So when you consider your lowest and you think about, okay, well, that gives me an idea into like what do I need to like dial in? What do I need to go real hard to bring that number up? Okay, so, and just because it's the lowest doesn't mean it's horrible, but it's personal reflection and it's honesty with yourself. Like what is your lowest score right now in your paradigm, in your reality? What can you go hard with bringing that number up? Now, a lot of people speak about balance and say, you know, you need to get into a balance. I say, fuck balance. Balance is not achievable. I don't think balance is achievable. I think we're always in a state of even counterbalance. Okay. It's like someone who, I just don't think it's sustainable to have balance forever. You know, if you're chasing balance, it's only going to be a slither of time that you get it, and then something's going to pull you out of balance. So instead of focusing on balance, instead we can focus on optimizing our low scores and maximizing our high scores. You know, because not all areas are ever going to be dialed in. I don't believe they will be, because at some points you're more focused on family and training or whatever. Other points you're more focused on business, whatever. But like, the way I like to think about it is in phases. And what am I putting my energy into? So the more I can put my energy into my lower scores, I'm going to bring that number up. The goal then is to continue my habits that I've got in the higher scores. Does that make sense? Because too often we're there trying to disperse ourselves too thin. Just get to a baseline that really works in your high scores. For instance, if you're ticking off your dents each day and you're training, your physique's going to get better over time. It will. If you're increasing those numbers and you're getting more capacity in your training, your physique will get better. It's proven. As long as you're not eating like a fucking pig, as long as you're eating quality and you keep training, your physique will get better. You know, your energy will get better. But you know, if you've got low, that's your baseline there. You just keep ticking that box, and it's a part of you now. Okay, what in my low scores can I bring up? Okay, what do I need to implement to bring those lower scores? Give a bit more energy to that lower realm, and then I bring up, you know, the whole score. So, just quickly, what do we got? Money, physique, health high, money lowest, health, mind, energy, happiness, all highest.
Can we call bullshit on Cass's physique? He's his lowest.
I'm shooting for high, and I want to look for the next fucking months like a jacked motherfucker. So I'm still a bit outside of that.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Doesn't mean that I'm not happy.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, it is like that though. It is, but then it is like that. It's like if your lowest is 7, you're winning, but that doesn't mean you fucking slow down, right? It really doesn't. Like if your lowest score is a 5 or a 6, epic. You know, you don't have a 2 or 1 in there. That's a massive win. There'll be a lot of guys out in society. They jump on, they do that assessment. They'll be like 1s, 2s, 3s. You know, really dropping the ball. So if you're up around that, you know, average range, that's cool. That's a decent average benchmark. But if we can get up into those 7+ numbers, then we've really tuned stuff in. So it's good to see. It's good clarity. It's nice to see the changes here and the honesty. It's epic. I want to just open up quickly for a chat, and considering looking at that, what does it make you think of? Like, what are the thoughts that come up for you? How do you feel when you look at that assessment?
I'll go, mate. You know, I don't know whether I was pretty harsh on myself when I did my first one, but like I had 28 when I did it 4 or 5 weeks ago. But I think through the actions that I've been putting in place, I feel a lot better about a lot of those individual scores that I was getting. Probably what I have picked up in doing that reflection tonight is the ones connected to other people are the ones that need the work for me. So I scored my relationship lowest. Sort of love was a 5. Happiness was 5. My mind was still a 5. So things that I associate with other people, and I think other people can have a great impact on, are the things that are low for me. So they're the areas that I've got to sort of probably focus into, because I've been ripping into working out and looking after my food and all that sort of stuff. But it's those other parts. So it's probably what's shown for me.
Yeah, there's great clarity. You know, we've spoken for you about personal journaling and breath work and getting into a rhythm of that. And you can quite clearly see that when you do these things, like, okay, I need to, if I want to improve those scores, I need to put the work in. You know, you're already doing the workouts, you're already doing the food, you're winning in those areas. But if you're not satisfied with that number in that lower realm, the path is illuminated. You've just got to walk it. Same as you did starting the program, getting ripped into training and food, you're seeing those results. You know, physique's improving, energy's improving, strength, all that. Now let's redirect it. And as an integral man, don't just think it's just about working out. Redirect a bit of that focus and go, right, I'm going to go real hard with calming my mind down, with understanding myself, with penciling out my thoughts so I can get some introspection and some growth. And you'll notice it. You will notice it. Like, it takes a little bit. It's very uncomfortable at the start. You know, it's a bit of a habit to build as well. But once you get into the habit of journaling, it is a truly beautiful process for all men to follow through with, because it's you and yourself and you and your thoughts, and you can really start to see your progression in the way you're assessing yourself. And it helps with your self-talk. Who talks to himself like shit, or who used to talk to himself way worse than they do now, like wherever it was in life? Like, I remember times where my self-talk was just putrid. Journaling will really help you dial up your self-talk, because you have to write the words. So when it asks you, what did you do shit today, whatever, you can be like, you know, I did this horribly, I'm a bad person, right? That's like a pretty standard self-talk with people that they use with themselves. Over time, it's, upon reflection, I can really see that I could have done this better. I can really see that, okay, after doing that, I've learned more about myself. So you can actually dial in the way you, just as you would want to speak more intelligently or more empathetically to other humans and not just shitbag them, you do that with yourself. And in that whole process, you start to learn so much more about your own self-talk. And when you change your language, you will literally change the reality that you see and that takes place. Anyone else thoughts on their reflection?
My lowest numbers are stress and discipline. They're both 5. And when I look at the numbers now, I notice that they're linked together, because a lot of stress is caused work-related. And that's because of the lack of discipline. Sometimes I'm procrastinating. I'm not doing the things I should do. I'm not prioritizing right. And that causes me stress. So when I look on these numbers, I see how they are linked together. And if I take action with the discipline, it will better my position with the stress. So that was really good to see.
Discipline equals freedom, hey? Who's experienced discipline equals freedom in the last little bit working on themselves? Hands up. Like, the more you get the job done, the more free you are in your mind and in your life. It's crazy. I had it just tonight, you know, got a bit late before dinner. I was, you know, helping whatever. And Nick's like, and then we got the call after, and I didn't really want to train at 9 o'clock tonight. And I was like, fuck, I got 15 minutes. And then I was like, oh shit. Fucking went out there and just did 5 minutes pulls, 5 minutes dips, 5 minutes pistols. And I'm like out there, I'm like, I nearly let this go. I was so close to letting it go, and then I would have had to train at 9 o'clock. And just getting it done, I was sitting at dinner just going like, you know, you've done it. And it's that easy. It's a knife's edge with all of those decisions, hey. You know, it's this and this, I've got to get done, you know, but it's like we make these excuses. Just if you dial in, put the work in, you get the reward. Yeah, it's huge. Awesome. Mr. Adam, we don't hear from you much. Adam Finlay. I'm going to throw you under the bus, brother. I want to hear a bit about your journey because you've just been in the background putting along. I know you've been getting stuff done.
I thought you'd call me Adam. I was like, oh, sweet. Nah. No, reflecting on that, like it's definitely eye-opening. My last one's physique. I've always been sort of bigger as such. Always found it hard to be the fit, skinny, sort of optimal looking guy, I guess. Whereas that's still where I'm struggling now. Like I'm eating well, I'm still increasing on my workouts and that sort of stuff, but it's just hard. Like I've sort of plateaued weight wise now, and it's almost coming back up, which is sort of hard to wrap your head around, but I understand it's muscle now, not fat. So that's, yeah, it's just different for me, I guess. Yeah, I'm getting there. I do my own sort of thing. It's hard. My biggest thing is mental for me. Yeah, just, I don't know. I'm a watcher. I am. I do my own thing. I don't. This is all new. Getting in with a bunch of other guys and that sort of thing. I like to sit back and do my own thing, but that hasn't worked in the past. So, got to try something different.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And
yeah,
I'll come back at you with a question.
Yeah.
Considering the improvements you've made so far, would you have done them on your own?
No, God, no. No, I can openly say that. No, I wouldn't have made these changes on my own.
So as hard as challenging it is to step into a new group, meet new guys, and even be around guys who have greater capacity in certain areas than you, which is intimidating. It is honestly like if you're the top of the room, you're in the wrong room. Like it is such a big advantage to be at the bottom if you take it as a positive. So if you take it as inspiration, you take it as a chance to learn and grow and reach these standards, like it really does help. Like I've been in so many rooms where I was just shitting myself thinking like, fuck, I hope I don't get asked to talk. I don't hope I get asked to share my results. But by doing so and connecting, I get so much more out of it. And I realize that at the end of the day, the other guys in the room accept me for where I'm at. They don't judge me. They're not thinking, oh, you're a piece of shit. You don't have this. You don't have this. It's like they're going, fucking go for it, bro. Get after it. We're here to back it in.
Yeah, that's been my biggest thing, because that's not society as such, if you get me. Like, people aren't here for each other. So that was my biggest thing, is my mental side. Like, oh, am I too far behind these guys? Or like, I don't know. It's just all self-doubt, I guess. And that's what you and I've been talking, and that's where I'm at now. Like, that's my biggest thing, is getting it out of my head, and that where I'm at is okay, and progress from there.
Well, Nick, I want Nick to tune in here, because like Nick was in a similar position to you. He's lost, what have you lost? 21 kilos, 22 kilos, something, 20 kilos. Like he's lost a keg, like a whole keg just thrown out the door, But when you started, Nick, it wasn't easy for you. You was like,
no, it was very hard. Like I plateaued all the time. So I'll probably drop a kilo, then 2 weeks holding weight, and then I'll drop another kilo, 2 weeks, hold that, and then sometimes I'll drop 2 kilos. So at the moment, I'm at a plateau at the moment. So I'm between 85 and 84 kilos. I'm just jumping between those two at the moment. But yeah, it's very like, I feel like I'm going backwards or whatever. But yeah, as Jordan keeps telling me, just keep pushing, keep resisting. You'll be right. You just got to think of the end goal of where you want to be down the track. Don't think of now, think of down the track. So that's where I look at now, which then helps me mentally as well as physically.
Yeah, awesome, man.
And a big thing that I've had Keegan constantly call me out on is, what advice would you give your son?
What, me?
Well, just like, that's the question that you can sit with. when you
Yeah.
when you're challenged around sticking with it,
Mm.
what advice would you want to give your kids? What would you want to see your kids do? To quit or gut after them? Because your example, the way you turn up for yourself and get through these sticking points, they see it. They literally see it. They know it. They can feel it in your energy. Whereas if you quit and you go back to your old ways, they also see that.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Got through me. Yeah. When you mentioned that to me the other week, Jordan, that's what hit home, matey.
And that's
Yeah, my fella rides with me. My young fella rides with me all the time now. So we go out mountain bike riding every afternoon, do about 5 or 6 Ks. And then on the weekends, we go out to the tracks and stuff like that. And yeah, we spend heaps of time together, more than we used to, instead of me sitting in a lounge chair with a bloody beer in hand. So yeah, talking to my can friend. Yeah. So, yeah, so like he loves it. He was even out with me this afternoon, working out and stuff like that. So we'll alternate between what we're doing for the 10 minutes and whatnot. But yeah, I've got to get him to work out more because his medication is no longer being made to keep him sane, kind of thing. So I've got to now work out a new solution to keep him on my side of the team instead of being angry.
new drug of choice. Get him lifting weights.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Try and tire him out.
Yeah, I mean, it does so much for the brain, like the endorphins and all that. But yeah, Adam, I wanted to get you on because it's I can sense where you're at, and I understand, and I empathize with you as well. It's not an easy journey. It's not just like click your fingers, done, cool, join a program, and the results happen. It's like you've committed to change, and that commitment requires consistency and discipline for ongoing. You know, so many people think, oh, I'll get to the destination and then the journey's finished. It's like, no, you get to the destination and then you'll be thinking, what's next? And it's really important to be.
It's not 90 days, it's past that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that shift from the mentality of like, okay, I'm doing a diet or I'm doing a training program. It's no, I'm changing who I am at the core so that I have different results over the next 12 months to 3 years to 10 years to 25 years. You know, if I change my trajectory 1 degree, even 10, 10 degrees, I'm going in a completely different direction to where I was headed. And you're all doing that by being here and turning up every week on the call and being honest and resetting your focus, committing to your training, your diet. This unlimited opportunities for where you want to take this. So, we're about to lead into the ancestral months for you guys who are at the front of the race. You're going to go into ancestral eating, so it's different protocols. Or if you want to go hard with stripping through plateaus, for instance, like Adam and Nick, if you want to bust up plateaus, we'll go on the lean protocol. So the lean protocol is like 10 days to just strip through fat, and you'll bust a protocol. You'll bust a plateau, and then we'll go back to animal based, and then you bust on the lean protocol again, and you get really cut really quickly. Probably not right for Brent. We'll keep some honey and some fruit in your diet, mate. But yeah, like
I'll just keep having the goat shakes.
Yeah, bro, smashing the goat shakes. I had some lady crack off at me today. She's like, "How are you giving your son raw egg? It's so dangerous." And I said, "Oh, you poor old love. Sending you love." I won't tell you that he drinks raw eggs without any.
How was it with the ghee, Cassio?
Was so good. It was a test, right? I was so hungry and I didn't have enough time to eat, and I knew I was taking for the next 5 hours. It's like I need to make it a bit more calories. And I was like, the ghee was in front of me. Oh, whoa, wait. And then I just put a chunk in. Once I put it in a cup and I started drinking, I was like, fuck, but it's better. Wait. And then I put it back on, a bit more ghee, and then go. Also good. It's really, it becomes more creamy. And there's this little end taste, of the ghee.
Yeah. It's got such a creamy, stabilizing taste to it. I'll try it. I'll have to try it. For some reason, I've got this thing in my mind where, because it's like cold water and ghee, we get like, when fat and cold water gets like real sticky.
I mean, I have to say that I have a blender here at home that is an industrial one. Man, you can put rocks on that, become creamy. So maybe I'm not.
I'll have a try. I'll have a go with it. Awesome. So yeah, lads, strong effort, very strong effort. It's nice to see some numbers, some reflections, and like I said, it's a really clear indicator to your progression. And I want you to reward yourself and appreciate yourself for the changes you're making. But again, like I said, don't get comfortable in the journey. These scores are going to improve, and it's a never-ending journey. You know, we're in the game of life. So every day you wake up and you're breathing, you got the opportunity to be better. Doesn't mean that every day will be better, but you know, we're in a constant evolution of, okay, how can we continually grow and improve ourselves here? So I want you to take away from tonight that awareness and apply energy to going harder. All right. And as we lift the standard together and as we all turn up and, you know, reflect and connect, you'll be inspired to also push it forward, you know, and keep bumping it up. And, you know, your loved ones, your community, even yourself, you'll notice it. When you go to new levels, you notice it. I can tell you after 7 years of working on myself, I still wake up with self-doubts. I still wake up with challenging thoughts. I still wake up with the challenge to my discipline. I still wake up with I need to be really dialed in on procrastination. I need to be hyper aware of, you know, shitty choices. But it's not that I'm more susceptible to them. It's that I'm more aware of them now. So I've got a whole new level of awareness. So I can live at a different level and I can get new results. So to pre-frame the journey ahead, it doesn't get easier, but you get stronger and you get more capable. And by doing so, you set new limits for yourself and for your loved ones and for your kids. I was listening to, there's a big theme on this. I was listening to The Rock and Joe Rogan, and they were speaking about the difference in a human being when they challenge themselves and they're disciplined versus someone who doesn't challenge themselves and isn't disciplined. And they said you can sense it. It's just you. All you have to do is be in their presence, and you can tell that they're not getting after it. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I do agree. There is guys, there is men that they can enter the room and you see straight away like this guy is going hard on life. He's going after it. And there is some that you don't see, or you see that is just like cruising around, like cruise control style.
Who's noticed? Has anyone else noticed the way they turn up is different in conversations? More present.
Yeah, what I have to say is like I look everyone here in the cameras and everyone looks sharper. All of us.
Thank you.
So that's cool. No one is as bright as Leo is with his new haircut, but everyone is looking sharp. Yeah, I do notice that you have things to do, right? There is this feeling that there's so much going on. I have things to do. I gotta get the things done. So you move with more intention.
Who's
sorry.
Go for it. Go.
Oh yeah, I've noticed with like with my employees and stuff like that, because I run a four-wheel drive company. So yeah, I've got my employees at the moment asking for pay rises and stuff like that, and you know, it's the stress of I've got to talk to my work partner first before I can go ahead, because at the moment coming up to Christmas, money's not quite there. So yeah, because I've had a lot of bills come out, which has been really hurt me quite hard at the moment, and they're asking for more and more. So I gave him a bit of a pay rise about a month ago and whatnot, and then he's come back to me, was it Friday, asking me again for more money. And yeah, I had to sit him down and kind of talk to him calmly and stuff like that, which I would have just beforehand I would have blown my lid. But yeah, just kind of told him without letting him know how financially bad I am, that I can't afford to give him any more money. So I just kind of went all the ins and outs and spat all my words out correctly towards him instead of making himself look like an idiot kind of thing towards him. So, but yeah, employees, man, I hate them. I really do.
The hardest,
One more.
the hardest part of business. It is the hardest part of business. It's been my biggest relief since going online and working for myself and not having employees anymore. It's you deal with. I only deal with myself. So I'm the one letting the team down now. So I got to have chats to myself.
That's it. Yeah, well, I remember when you first started in Kawana Waters there. So yeah, with downstairs from Penny and that. So yeah. That's been a long time. I can't believe how long ago it was.
Yeah, that was 5 years ago.
That was a very small room.
Six years ago even.
Yeah, that was a small room there, and then you expanded into that big shed. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's been a cool journey, and anyone in business. So any of you, I mean, not even in business, even for instance, Dion dealing with people at school and students, just dealing with other human beings is such an interesting process because you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with life experiences, you're dealing with belief systems, you're dealing with everyone else's shit. And that's actually why it's so important to have your own emotional integrity so that you don't then basically add fuel to the fire. Instead, you come in as the water and you say, hey, I'm emotionally stable. I can see you going through some shit. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're dealing with their livelihood too, as well, especially in my boots kind of thing. So, I can only do so much to keep them happy, but obviously I've got to keep the doors open too, to keep everything flowing. So yeah.
Yep, I understand. Yeah, it's a joy of business, but they're not going in. They at the end of the day, they do have the ability to make us more money. So
yeah,
take it or leave it. It's the many intricacies that come into business. So. All right, boys, or men, not boys, men.
man.
Jumping on, and yes, always good, always epic to connect and reflect. And I encourage you to this week go harder. And I will preempt this. We're coming into Christmas. All right, we're coming into silly season. This is the most challenging time of the year for people to stay disciplined. The most challenging time for people to stay disciplined. You will be thrown every single excuse, distraction, temptation, left, right, and center to drop off in your health routines. But I can tell you this much: if you go hard or harder this Christmas, you'll come out the other side, January, feeling the best you've ever felt in a January. You won't be dragging ass. You won't be thinking about re-kicking the momentum up. You won't be thinking about, oh man, I've been slacking. You will be on fire for 2024. And I can say that from experience, having done it now for 5 years, of actually just saying, no, Christmas is actually the time that I go harder. I make sure I train because everyone's usually off as well. So you're not working as much. an hour session, do more training, like two 30-minute sessions a day, do the morning, the Arvo. Like you got a week there to just soak it up. Eat good food, be really well aware of yourself on Christmas Day. Don't gorge out like a pig and then have to sleep all Arvo. That's actually, I think that's a really good goal for us on Christmas Day. If you upload a photo or a video of you training on Christmas Day, put your rings up somewhere and put yourself in a position to get a session done on Christmas Day. Could be after lunch when everyone's having a snooze and you go out in the sun and get some reps done. It's like it's always a good opportunity to prove to yourself that you're a different man. What's Cassia saying? I have just subscribed to a gym to push harder. Yeah.
You got mute. Oh, I cannot.
Go
It's
on,
me.
Jordan.
You're back. I know.
Yeah. What's up? You lost me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all lost you for a minute.
Okay. Internet connection unstable. It's obviously a sign. All right. Thank you, lads. And let's get after it. Strong shares. Now mute, say goodbye, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, brothers. Have a good week.
See
Yeah,
ya.
mate. Talk to us. Thank you.
See you, boys. See you all next week.
See you, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Mold free.
Oh yes,
Good
the cold free coffee.
Oh yeah, mate. Love it.
Oh yeah.
I've never had a coffee in my life.
You're missing
My,
out.
my missus thinks I'm a psycho.
Don't start. Don't start. Do not
Oh,
start.
boys. Yeah.
All
Have a
right.
good one. Have a good week, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers.
Signing off.